Good evening. Welcome to the Alan Osborne Show. It's September 26th, and we need to clarify some things about last night's show. Uh, a throwdown almost takes a hoedown. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put some stats. I'm talking to you, Stan. I'm talking to anybody who's on Stan's side or whatever you think. I'm talking to you people out in the county. Let's explain what happened, because here's what you need to know. I found out this afternoon that Stan told a sitting commissioner, Donna Johns, that Suzanne Harris set him up at the meeting. Stan, I'm going to explain why that can't be true. And you should know something, Stan. You'd be personally sued for saying stuff that you know is not true to try to save your ass. And listen, everybody's watched me go on these shows forever and go to these meetings. What, 400 or 500 public meetings I've gone to, and Suzanne too. Listen, and I've got the text because I'm one of the people who text Suzanne and said, "Why is Laura looking in the hall?" Because, Stan, I got there late and everybody knows it. So I couldn't sit over there with Dan Curry and Suzanne and everybody was in the front row over there. Lisa Vega, Tabitha. Commissioner-elect Curry, I believe, was sitting closest to Miss Sunday. And let me tell you something, Stan. If you had been set up to have a show go down by Suzanne Harris, she'd have walked arm in arm, and I wasn't there when I was late to the show. And I can also tell you one thing. Had I known that crap was going to go down at the end, or what was going on, there is no way that I would have been shuffled out the door by the deputies while talking to the floodplain manager for the county, not paying any attention. If I'd have known that was going to happen, I'd have been there from the start, and I'd have been filming myself. Now, come on. Because for the fact is, a lot of this stuff I've known for a long time, Stan, and I didn't give a damn because they said, because most of the time, I don't think people's personal life is anybody's business. But when your personal life gets into the county business, because here's how your personal life, and I'm just going to say it right here, and Phony Tony, you better be listening to too. Stan, Laura is Lloyd Blue's brother-in-law. I'm asking, and Lloyd Blue is involved in Sandestin. I'm asking you to enforce a code that would affect Sandestin, Lloyd's client. We know Lloyd's claimed to be paid for it, and if not, let's all go to court and find out who did what. So I'm not going to get in, because Tony's told you not to do it. And Tony's told you not to do it because his son's close to David Buchanan, and my code enforcement complaint would involve David Buchanan, wouldn't it? So it doesn't matter what. I could have waited till China. I could have waited till new commissioners got sworn in. Because the commissioners don't hardly have any say-so whatsoever, because they've structured the chain of command and the rating chain in such a way, and Larry Jones set this up, that basically if the developers and the lawyers, if they own our county administrator with either information or some act, he's compromised. Our whole county is compromised when the administrator is compromised, because the commissioners can rarely vote to do anything. Because let's talk about it. Stan, since you've been back, you found out Matt Carpenter had to plead, and he was facing multiple charges of misuse of his real estate license for fraud. You know he didn't report it. It's an absolute violation. Why hadn't you fired him? Because Tony told you not to. And Shipman and them got to have him. And they knew who you were sleeping with. So your personal life is now governing Alan Osborne's code complaint. And it's governing whether the senior citizens can come talk about the con job on the Boys and Girls Club. It's affecting county business because people have all this information. And Stan, you've had the report on Nathan and HR for weeks, haven't you? Do you claim you haven't read it? Well, damn, Stan, I gave you stuff you must not have read for 10 months. I don't believe one word that you don't understand my complaints you've had forever, Stan. I've just been sitting back here having to know what a shit show you are behind the scenes and shut my mouth. But hell, wasn't no good. It came out anyway. It came out in public. But the best part is that somehow you think you were set up by Suzanne Harris. Shit, I'd have been filming if you would. I didn't set you up, but it's hilarious. Stan, she's already said, I believe she told Suzanne, Miss Sunday was there to watch you have papers served on you. But because Laura was doing a little dance and, Laura, you think you're in charge of something? You ain't in charge of my code complaints. And people's libido is not going to decide whether I get good government. So Suzanne set you up, huh, Stan? What'd she do? Run off to a conference and go, there she is, Stan. She's looking at you. You go over and chase her down now. Stan, quite simply, you got caught for a lack of not being too obscene, as the movies have approved. Stan, you got caught shoplifting the pootie. And you did it at work. And you let that situation get out of control, because if I'd have known that was going to happen and Suzanne had set you up, we'd have been filming, because you can't make this stuff up. But this is ludicrous. This is ludicrous. Stan and Nathan Curvin, I'll have that report by the weekend. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm talking to you because it's phony baloney, because Stan hired the guy who's now taking Wade Wilmuth's place. Wade Wilmuth was removed. Let's do a little history lesson. Wade Wilmuth was removed from code. I complained that Wade Wilmuth buried my code complaint. So Stan said, I got my own man from the sheriff's department now. And then Tony ran back to code because he's got to cover up what he did. We don't have code enforcement. We don't have any ethics. And now we have another compromised administrator who can't enforce any standards upon the county. It's a loss of faith, just like in the sheriff's department. You can't shoot our pets, not receive legitimate punishment, and think you're not part of the problem. And I'm going to get into the sheriff's department and the dollar signs what's part of the problem, but let me talk to you about this, people. We didn't set anybody up. We're the taxpayers. We can't. We don't get a vote on whether we decide we want to be taxpayers or not. We're taxed on what we own, where we live, and what we do, and what we eat, what we buy. You get it? It's not a choice. It's a requirement. So it's not wrong for us to require them to have better behavior. It's just not, because they're asking to do a job that requires it. Pretty simple, huh? These are not hard things to figure out. What you do in your own life with your own money in your own world is your business. What you do with the taxpayers' money in our world and our lives, and it affects it, is our business, quite plain and simple. The BCC, all of you, Donna, Danny, Boots, do I want to, Brad, do I want to count Tony? No, I don't think Tony ought to have a say-so. I think Brad, Boots, Donna, and Danny ought to condemn Tony. Now we've had the Maxwell suit. Tony's completely compromised. And here he is. What, Tony didn't go on those trips and know what was going on? I say BS. Baloney. Somebody that wants me to be nicer. Just baloney. You four commissioners should vote a declaration amongst yourself to have Tony sanctioned and remove him immediately as chair. He has no business with the gavel in his hand telling Clay to do anything without the four of you hearing it. He shouldn't be representing anybody up there as the chair of anything. Tony, you should resign and take the harlot with you. And Stan, I'm sorry, you're done. That was just a waste of 10 or 12 months hoping you'd do the right thing. But to go out there and tell people that you got set up, hell, it's just crazy. How'd you get set up? Somebody go, there it is. Think with your own head. Go play high. Go. What is this? Bill Clinton administration? I swear we've got Slick Willie syndrome. And when you people find out, from what I understand, and since I have the papers in my hand, I'll let you know that we got swingers problems. This is how we get hired. And what are we teaching the young people that want to become government workers? Sleep your way to the top, key positions, get key things. This reminds me of Hunter Biden snorting drugs off a hooker's butt. Really? You people that want to sit up there are going to have a higher standard once you're there. I mean, because the rest of us need government that's efficient, not corrupt. Because I'm going to tell you, the things that have been covered up in this county that have become lawsuits have cost all you seniors and all you parents with kids without ball fields. We have lost enough in lawsuits, overpriced land. We're about to pay some guy that's not even worth using his name $190,000 commission. Go watch the BCC show. For what? Because we called him the county realtor. We didn't need one. Couldn't do any worse. Now we just added to the fire. Pay him some money. It's your money. We didn't go seeking that property. That was a deal Tony Anderson caught. He cut that deal. He brought it to the table. Tony, you see, has become the common denominator in our tax money having a problem. It was Tony who decided to sign a contract with a non-refundable deposit on the first golf garden project. He lost more money in the stroke of one pen with a bad deal, no questions, than he ever paid in property tax his entire life as a Walton County citizen. I'll bet you money. It's about $160,000, $170,000. But you can't make this stuff up. And Stan, don't you go blaming us. Don't go blaming me because I got on here and told people what happened. What do you want me to do? You can't get all the spaghetti back in the box sometimes. You just can't. And this week at the BCC, all the spaghetti came out on the floor when the box busted open. There's macaroni everywhere. And you can't make this up. But wait a minute. I may have found what is wrong and why it's occurring. Stand by. For you people out there who appreciate my sense of humor, that the truth is funnier than fiction because you can't make this shit up, I have found out what's going on in the county. Evidently, the Eagle Springs Cafe must be selling this somewhere out on the golf course. It's called Brown Chicken, Brown Cow. And some of the employees are drinking this at excessive rates. Maybe the BCC should make sure that this product isn't used by any of the people in leadership. Maybe that'll fix it. Tune in next time, and remember to write in Alan Osborne for sheriff. Don't you want somebody to tell you the truth? Don't you want somebody to show you what he does with your tax dollars? And don't you want somebody that's not going to be overhead cover for this kind of corruption? Christians and corruptions, they're two different things. Which one are you? Which one do you support? Till next time on the Alan Osborne Show, y'all keep them straight out there, and don't you dare let a county employee in leadership position drink this stuff behind me. Till next time, y'all keep them straight.